The biggest question that I have, and I think everyone else around us has, is this actually arson or is it something else? Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tanner back here again, another video. So I am on vacation right now, so obviously this is a whole different background, whole different scene. Today we're gonna talk about a very infamous RX8 driven by Stancypants, and what we're gonna discuss today is we're gonna look at a bunch of videos and a bunch of pictures and actually see, was this actually arson or was it something else? Was it electrical fire? Did the fuse box catch on fire? You know, we don't really know what's going on, but we're gonna dive into it right now. And I wanna make a huge disclaimer here. It sucks I have to make a disclaimer, but you know that the law is the law and your boy's not trying to get sued. This is purely my opinion. I also want to bring up a couple other things. Clear one, I don't follow this person. Two, I've only seen this car like once on the internet, and it's that one infamous video, you guys know what it is right here, where he's driving up the ramp. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there is this car going around TikTok that is called Stancypants RX8, and it's got, I think, 30 degrees of camber. It looks okay, but like it's not my style. Super stands out. People are hating on it all over the internet. I guess the owner's name is Luke, and he says, I build cars to hurt your feelings. And as you can see in this photo right here, he claims that someone came and burned his car down. And this is what he says. He says, I understand a lot of people out there hold hatred towards me, my car, my business, etc. But this is a line that shouldn't be crossed. Endangering lives by blowing up a vehicle on the road next to people's homes is not alright in any way, shape, or form. Whether you have animosity towards me or not, I do not accept acts of violence or hatred such as this to anyone or anything. So he's clearly saying that someone came and torched his car or vandalized his car because, you know, we got haters out there on the internet. I have never ever seen a hater do something like this. Now, I'm not saying that it's not possible for someone to come and do this to his car, but the likelihood of someone doing it, personally to me, is pretty low. And when you look at the circumstantial evidence of what the car looks like, there's multiple reasons why I don't think this is arson, and I'm gonna show them all right here because, you know, I bring receipts, I bring the proof. And all the proof actually is everything that he posted, and he's always posted himself. It's nothing that I've had to go and really search up. It was easily accessible. So he goes on and he posts a couple stories from the night saying, I appreciate all of you checking in. Police investigation under the way. He says, getting the security camera footage from the neighbors, don't endanger other people because you're upset with how I build cars. About it, but I'm not interested in my friends, family, neighbors getting hurt in the process. Pretty reasonable. Then he goes to say, for those that need the story. 2:30 in the morning, got a call from my grandparents that the fire department was outside the house. Multiple neighbors heard an explosion in the middle of the night. Pieces flew everywhere in other yards. It was determined there was an accelerant added to the intake and ignited after the arson investigator arrived. My grandpa was outside waiting, watching the car he helped burn to the ground. And no, the car doesn't have insurance. There will be no check. All I want is for no one to do this to anyone else. The biggest problem I have with this is he says that it was determined there was an accelerant added to the intake and ignited after the arson investigator arrived. Now, if you don't really dissect what he says and think about it, you'd be like, oh, well, you know, the engine bay caught on fire, blah, blah, blah. But wait, think about it for a second. Someone would have had to open the car, release the hood latch, open the hood, and then take apart the intake, put something in there, light it on fire, close the trunk, and then run away. I really don't believe it. Now, I'm not saying I would ever do this, but if you guys were going to light somebody's car on fire, would you start in the engine bay or would you break the window and then like toss a Molotov cocktail or whatever it is inside someone's car? Most of the time, at least what I would do, is if I wanted to burn somebody's car down, I would burn the easier part of the car so it all catches on fire faster. Because in the engine bay, you have all this metal, this stuff that takes a lot more heat to like get going. Where if you throw something in the interior, you got leather, you got cloth, very easy for that stuff to catch on fire in there. And I would think 99% of people would break the window and throw something in there. If you notice in the photos, none of the windows are broken. None of them at all, which is very odd. So if we were to take this with what Stancypants is saying, he is saying that someone lit the front of the car on fire with arson in the intake. It started in the intake. But in order to get to the intake, because he has a hood latch, you need to open the driver's side door, which is not broken, open the hood latch, open the hood, and then start a fire in there, take apart the intake, and then start it inside the intake. I don't know about that. Now, I do want to say I feel very bad for him. If my car burned down, I would be super upset, so I'm sorry. I feel sorry for him, but a lot of people online are saying that this build cut a lot of corners. It was built as cheap as possible. Look at the suspension and the struts, and look at the welds. Just look at the welds. It's not you're not putting dimes on there, you're putting freaking quarters. You're taking the whole piggy bank worth of coins and you're dumping it right on there. Those are some of the worst welds I've ever seen in my life. And if that's representative under there, that could mean that that's everywhere else in the car, including the electrical. I saw a video of him talking about he had to wire a button to the starter. So he had to wire a button to the starter in order to get the car to drive and to shift into gears.
So it has an automatic ECU with an automatic motor and a manual trans that's wired up to the automatic trans ECU.
I see the pedals now too.
Yep. And so then we swapped in the new pedal, got that set up, put in like all the new slave and all the stuff for that. Once we got this in, it wouldn't start because the automatic spits a code when it's not connected.
Yeah.
So it's telling the ECU that it's not in a gear. So we had to wire direct power to the starter, which is what this big button is. This is how I start my car.
So that's the starter.
That's the starter. So that's direct power to starter.
There's not a single inch of this car that you haven't touched, huh?
No, pretty much. All the wiring is different.
Hey, it's Tanner from the future, you guys. So I was watching what I was editing right here. I didn't get to explain things the way I wanted to in this video, and there's some new information that came out. So anyways, about that video of him talking about the starter, the whole reason that was is because I guess he wanted to manual swap his car. Automatic versus the manual motor is different from each other, and there's different mounting points. So that's why he had to have a starter wired, why he had a button started, why he had
that
so that's why he had a button wired to the starter, was because of that. And I guess the car wouldn't start without it. So that was something I was thinking, oh, maybe that could have caused it. But no, there's some new information that came out showing it. I'll show it right here. I see a picture, and it's like a scrolling video on Instagram. There's other photos too. I can't find the original photo, but it's a picture of his hood opened. When you look at an RX8 engine bay, you have like the battery in the middle, the intake's off to the right of that, and the fuse box is all the way in the right corner. When you look at the picture of his hood open, at the very top near the hood latch, like I said earlier, he has a hood latch. It looks like it's burn marks because it's all like brown and black up there. The rest of it is blue, so it's a completely different color right there. And where is that making contact with? Right where the battery is. And he said his battery was disconnected for winter, but that doesn't mean that the terminal could have moved and struck the battery and caused it, or something was going on that could have caused a fire. But that would maybe make sense if the battery caught on fire, because if you look at the damage of where the fire occurred from the videos, it's all in the front right, where the intake is, but also where the fuse box is, which is another big thing that people are thinking. And I personally think something happened with the fuse box, or it started with the battery touching the top of the hood, and for whatever reason that was burning and possibly could have sparked and created something that would make sense why his car caught on fire. I highly doubt this was arson and someone went and did this. I think this is some bad wiring, some bad corner cutting, because I said earlier, he did most of everything himself. Now, I'm not saying he's not qualified to do a lot of the stuff that he's doing. If you look at the welds and the other parts of his car, that sort of craftsmanship could be everywhere in the car. And again, this is my opinion. I'm not saying these things are true. This is just what I think is true. Hope that explains some more things about this that I wanted to talk about. And let's go back to Tanner in the past. And if you guys are already at this point in the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You guys make up your own mind. You tell me if you think some hater went out there and actually burned his car down and started it from inside, or do you think it was just a case of bad wiring and it's just a very unfortunate thing? You guys tell me in the comments below what you think happened. From everything that I've seen here and what I believe, this was clearly 100% a case of arson. Come on guys, really no. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, comment, share this video with your friends. Oh yeah, one more thing. There's a rumor going around that he allegedly did something with a minor and he has a court for it. That's not true. I do want to make that very clear. That is not true. I found out that it was for violation he got driving the car. Nothing to do with minors or anything like that. So anyways, you guys, enjoy your Thanksgiving with your families or whatever you're gonna celebrate this week, and I'll be back to make more content soon for you guys. I got my AMG back finally after 5 weeks, fixed the transmission, so it should be good. I'm looking to do a special. I've said for my 5K special, I want to do a big old burnout, not trying to ruin the surprise, but I want to do something with the car. I'm just trying to find a legal place to do it, because in California, you get a 30-day. Your car gets impounded for 30 days if you catch doing that reckless stuff, and I don't have money for 30-day impound fees. It's like $3 grand, so I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to try a legal place. If you guys know a legal place I could do that, let me know. But anyways, you guys, always remember one thing. Always remember to love yourselves and take care of yourselves. Peace.
But you got a booty, so we got a clientele. She know I'm the man, baby, it ain't hard to tell. Call my first nut at age 12. RX8. I'm selling on the Reggie and I sell the cushions well. I'm sipping on Modelo and mojitos with the ice. I never sell my soul, don't ask for a price. I eat up on that, I spit up on the